This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here's what you need to know today. Russian peacekeepers have begun withdrawing from Nagorno-Karabakh, a Kremlin spokesperson confirmed today. Videos had circulated on Azerbaijani social media yesterday purporting to show Russian vehicles passing out of the Karabakh region. The news comes as a surprise, since the Russian mandate for deployment does not expire until November 2025 and can be extended by the agreement of all parties. Dmitry Peskov did not elaborate on a timeline or explain why it is happening ahead of schedule. An Azerbaijani top official told the press that the early withdrawal was agreed upon by the leadership of the two countries. The Russian peacekeeping contingent of 2,000 men was deployed in Nagorno-Karabakh in the aftermath of the 2020 Karabakh War by the November 9 tripartite declaration of the Armenian, Azerbaijani, and Russian leaders. The Russian peacekeepers failed to prevent the 9-month blockade against Nagorno-Karabakh or provide security to its residents during the Azerbaijani aggression last September, which caused a mass displacement of more than 100,000 Karabakh residents into Armenia. Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan was in the village of Voskepar in Tavush region again today, a flashpoint in demands made by Azerbaijan for Armenia to hand over 4 Soviet Azerbaijani villages. Voskepar is wedged between that territory and an exclave of Azerbaijan which has been controlled by Armenia since the 1990s. According to the Prime Minister's spokesperson, in Voskepar, the Prime Minister presented the local residents with the situation regarding peace with Azerbaijan, including the current border demarcation process. On a previous visit last month, the Prime Minister told residents, "I do not rule out that the delimitation process can start from the Tavush region." He also expressed willingness to comply with Azerbaijan's unilateral demand in order to avoid war. This is despite the fact Azerbaijan has rejected requests to return Armenian territory it occupies as part of the agreement. Critics object to that course of action on multiple grounds, such as that it would breach defense lines along the border and could cut off strategic roads like one between Voskepar and its southern neighbor Kirans, where Pashinyan also visited today. Iran says Armenia has given it assurances over a recent summit held with the EU and US, which Iran is concerned could lead to a potential escalation of geopolitical competition in the South Caucasus. The Armenian authorities have told us that it is not directed against any third country, that this is just to strengthen the economy of Armenia and to receive humanitarian aid and support for those displaced from Karabakh, said Iranian Ambassador Mehdi Sobhani yesterday at a press conference in Yerevan. The ambassador said Iran has no opposition to these goals. However, it is uneasy that Armenia's foreign relations could develop at the expense of other countries, though the ambassador said Armenian officials affirmed its growing ties with the West are not directed against relations with Iran. Still, the ambassador expressed that extra-regional forces in the area are dangerous, citing some European countries and the United States as examples, warning that they come here from across the ocean and try to make decisions for the people of this region. It is being alleged that an Armenian citizen who uttered insults against a ruling party parliamentarian was beaten by a group of masked persons while on the way to the police station. A lawyer for Samvel Vardanyan stated after being arrested for making insults against civil contracts Hakop Aslanyan, Vardanyan was left alone in the police car, at which point masked persons dressed in black threw him to the ground and beat him. The Ministry of Internal Affairs is investigating, and the human rights defender has condemned the attack. In a new episode of the series Mindful Leaders, we profile John Hodian, composer, pianist, and founder of the Nagash Ensemble. Born and raised in Philadelphia to Armenian parents, he forged a career scoring music for films. A life-changing visit to Armenia inspired him to compose a cycle of new music based on the poetry of a medieval priest, Mikrdit Nagash. Hodian and the ensemble now travel the world introducing audiences to this special kind of Armenian music. Find a link to the conversation in the video description. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.